The government has extended the lockdown for another 15 days until August 3rd. Prime Minister Phankham Viphavanh has said in a clear reference to the nationwide lockdown on Tuesday, July the 20th, saying the government is aware that extending measures will cause difficulties in people's daily lives.
มื้อนี้ข้าพเจ้าขอมีความเห็นในฐานะนายกรัฐมนตรีอยากเน้นเติมบางปัญหา
Continuation of the existing measures to contain the coronavirus outbreak is essential, Prime Minister Phankham Viphavanh told a press briefing on Tuesday. The overall number of the COVID-19 cases remain high, the Premier said at the press conference.
สามารถจำกัดได้การติดเชื้อภายในชุมชนมีท่าเอียงลดลง
The surge in imported cases of COVID-19 has prompted the government to extend the virus control measures outlined in Prime Minister Order number 15 for another 15 days until August 3rd. However, some restrictions have been lifted to minimize the impacts on the economy and people's livelihoods.
แรงงานลาวที่เดินกลับคืนประเทศจากประเทศเพื่อนบ้านใกล้เคียงแม้นมีจำนวนหลวงหลาย
According to Prime Minister Phankham Viphavanh, a severe COVID-19 outbreak and job losses in Thailand has forced many Lao nationals working there to return home, with at least 15% of returnees testing positive for the virus.
มีจำนวนหนึ่งได้ลักลอบเข้ามาแบบผิดกฎหมายซึ่งเฮ็ดให้มีความเสี่ยงที่จะนำเอาเชื้อพยาธิ
He said although the number of community-acquired cases in Laos is falling, we must remain alert and prepare to accommodate Lao workers returning from neighboring countries. He said we have to encourage them to enter Laos legally to keep the virus in check. What we fear is that people are entering illegally, which could result in a major community outbreak. Newly eased restrictions.
เราต้องพร้อมกันเพิ่มทวีการป้องกันควบคุมพยาธิโควิด -19 โดยทุกมาตรการ
Prime Minister Phankham said the government is aware that extending measures will cause difficulties in people's daily lives, but we ask everyone to understand the situation and to be patient so that we may control and eventually overcome this virus outbreak.
ที่โอกาสนี้ตั้งหน้าให้แก่พรรครัฐบาลข้าพเจ้าเสนอให้พวกเฮาทั้งหมดเอาใจใส่ตื่มบางด้านดังนี้
He pledged that the government would do all it could to create conditions that would enable people to gradually normalize their lives as far as possible. The government, the National Task Force for COVID-19 Prevention and Control, and local task force will follow up and closely monitor the situation with a view to easing restrictions in areas where the situation is favorable, but restrictions will be toughened in places.
แล้วก็พยายามสูงเฮ็ดได้ให้มีความดุลเดียงซอยหนุนระหว่างบรรดามาตรการดังกล่าว
Prime Minister Phankham admitted that there were challenges undermining the government's efforts to curb the outbreak. Some people continue to break the rules on COVID-19 prevention measures.
พร้อมนี้เรียกร้องให้ทุกคนในสังคม
In light of these issues, the Premier called for strict compliance with all government guidelines. The Premier expressed heartfelt gratitude to everyone who had generously assisted the government in battling against the virus outbreak. According to the virus outbreak measures outlined in Prime Minister's Order number 15 for another 15 days until August 3rd. Indoor and outdoor sports facilities in Vientiane and provinces where is no ongoing virus outbreak may reopen and must be legally registered businesses. Sports centers must not serve alcohol and must comply with all virus prevention measures. Massage parlors and spas in Vientiane and provinces where there is no ongoing virus outbreak may also reopen, but managers and staff must have had 2 doses of COVID vaccine and services must end at 8 p.m. Vocational schools, teaching training colleges, and other higher education centers in Vientiane may reopen but must strictly comply with all virus prevention measures. Measures to remain in place. Authorities will continue tracing people known to be carrying the virus after testing and expedite the rollout of the vaccination program. Pubs and bars, karaoke bars, other entertainment venues, cinemas, snooker halls, and internet cafes will remain closed. Contact sports, including football and martial arts, remain prohibited in any provinces with a virus outbreak. Factories and handicraft units in red zones, infected villages will remain closed except where employees have received 2 doses of a COVID vaccine, and there are on-site dormitories. Entering or exiting red zones is banned unless permission is given by authorities. Parties of all kinds remain banned. Members of the public are urged to comply with all virus prevention measures such as temperature checks, social distancing of at least 1 meter, wearing face masks, and using hand sanitizer. Previously eased restrictions. Shopping malls, retail shops, supermarkets, mini-marts, night markets, and fresh markets will remain open. Barber shops and beauty salons that are not located in red zones can remain open, but social distancing must be observed. Restaurants, cafes, tourist sites, and food gardens in provinces without a community outbreak can offer dine-in services, but customers must comply with all virus control measures. People may take out boats to fish in rivers through which international border runs between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., but authorities must specify the number of fishing boats that can use the river each day.